Demarcus Cousins just can't seem to catch a break. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe by hitting the big red subscribe button down below and turning on my post notifications because I do post a lot on this channel. And you don't want to miss out when I do so. Go ahead and hit the bell icon to be notified every time I post videos. And also follow me on my social media links down below and on the screen for that as well. Reach out to me, ask questions and whatnot. With that being said, you guys see the topic of today's video. A bit of a breaking news, even though I'm getting to it a little late. And that is Boogie Cousins going down with yet another injury, this time tearing his ACL. So let's talk about the injury itself, Demarcus Cousins' future or lack thereof, and what the Lakers should do and are going to do now with Boogie Cousins probably out for a very, very long time. So let me start off by talking about the actual news itself. So if you have not heard, Demarcus Cousins tore his ACL in a private workout. Yes, that's right, Demarcus Cousins. You want to talk about bad history with injuries and bad luck with injuries. The 3 worst injuries in basketball Demarcus Cousins has suffered, folks. Certainly the 2 worst, but potentially the 3 worst. If I were to ask you what's the worst injury to suffer as a basketball player, it's Achilles tear, it's an ACL tear, and it's a quad tear. And Demarcus Cousins had all 3 of them. And not just, every couple of years. No, it happened consecutively, year after year after year. You had the Achilles tear, then the quad tear, and now the ACL tear. So you got to feel for him, man. Demarcus Cousins, I don't know if you got a black cat running around or something, but he needs to do some voodoo to get rid of this bad luck. I mean, I haven't seen this bad luck with injuries since Derrick Rose, okay? So got to feel for the guy. Prayers out to Boogie. Hope he makes a quick recovery. But let's just talk about Demarcus Cousins' future in itself. And I'll get to the side with the Lakers in a second. And Demarcus Cousins was already sort of on his last chance in the NBA. He had a hard time finding the contract this offseason after he got hurt again last year. Of course, we know with the Warriors, that was with the quad tear, okay? And now the Lakers had picked him up, and everybody felt good because he was going to have a role. A lot of people expected him, or were expecting him, to be the starting center for the Lakers. And Demarcus Cousins was expected to, again, be in a prove-it year and get a contract, a bigger one, hopefully, a long-term contract. And this happens. And here's my thing, folks. Demarcus Cousins, this might be it. I don't want to say it because, you know what? I got nothing against Boogie himself. I want everybody to prosper. But the thing is, with Demarcus Cousins, it's always been 2 things. 1, the attitude, and 2, now the playing style. And it's not that Demarcus Cousins, doesn't have the quote-unquote modern-day NBA game, because he can step outside, shoot the 3. He's a skilled basketball player. But the speed of today's game versus Demarcus Cousins and his lack of speed, that's it for me, because to me, Demarcus Cousins was already slow. He was already sloggy. He was already too heavy. And now an ACL tear, and I don't know how you're going to be after this. Certainly you cannot be as quick as you were before. And he was already not quick. So to me, it's that lack of speed, because Demarcus Cousins was already struggling there. And now it's another injury on top of that, just making his way back from Achilles to the quad to now ACL. I just don't see it. Demarcus Cousins, to me, potentially could go the Derrick Rose route, where some team keeps taking a chance on him on a 1-year deal. But we all know, career-wise, he will never be the same Demarcus Cousins again. And it's a shame, because at his prime, in his peak, this was a man that was putting up 25 to 27 points with 12 to 14 rebounds a game, folks. He was a beast, okay? With the Sacramento Kings, Demarcus Cousins was legit. So I feel awful for Boogie. But I don't think he'll ever be the same player again, for sure. And I don't know if his career in the NBA will continue. I think it is in serious jeopardy, okay? So now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the situation with the Los Angeles Lakers and what exactly they should or should not do with Demarcus Cousins now on the shelf. So with the Lakers, it's a interesting situation. One, because a lot of people thought Demarcus Cousins, like I previously mentioned, was going to be the starting center for the Lakers, and I was not one of them. I have firmly believed that the Lakers should have brought, or should bring, Boogie off the bench. That won't happen now. But that was my ideal scenario when I laid out the Lakers roster and I said, AD should start at the 5. I want AD to start at the 5. Bring Boogie off the bench. We know he's too slow for today's NBA. Let him play against the second string guys, and maybe he'll be able to dominate. Well, we know now that won't happen, but it might be a blessing in disguise, because here's my thing. Demarcus Cousins, losing him does hurt, because the only other center you have on the roster, quote unquote, is JaVale McGee. And I say quote because Anthony Davis can play center, even though he said he doesn't like to. But the only other guy is JaVale McGee. So you definitely want to get some depth here. But to me, it's not a big loss at all, because it goes back to this. If losing Demarcus Cousins was your make or break it, then you are never really going to make, the goals that you set out to be, because Demarcus Cousins was going to play a minimum role, like a role player type on this roster. And losing him, I don't think it hurts the Lakers much at all. It might even benefit them, because it's another guy that you don't have to deal with as a coach in terms of Frank Vogel, in terms of Demarcus Cousins' attitude. We all know how that is. And, there could have been locker room chemistry issues. So maybe you don't have to deal with that now. And that's another player that you don't have to delegate minutes to. With that being said, I still do believe they should address the depth by signing somebody off the street in terms of free agency, is what I mean by that. And here are the list of guys that are available on the market right now. So the power forward centers that are available on the market, and I'm just going to throw out the best guys that are out there. You still got Melo. I'll get to that in a second. Joakim Noah, Dwight Howard, Kenneth Faried, and Nene. A good point to note here, Dwight Howard is still on a team. He is on the Memphis Grizzlies. Remember, he was traded for CJ Miles, but there is expected to be a buyout. I do think it'll happen. Kenneth Faried's a free agent. Noah's a free agent. Nene is, I believe, a free agent, and so is Carmelo Anthony. As far as what I would do if I was the Lakers general manager, if I am the Lakers GM, I'm looking to sign Kenneth Faried. This is a guy here where last year with the Houston Rockets, he played pretty well. I think he averaged, about like 12 points, 13 points, around 8 rebounds a game. Came in, gave good energy off the bench. Now, he's a little undersized for the center spot, but I do believe that Kenneth Faried has the most left out of these guys. I don't want Melo. I'm sorry. I don't want to deal with that. Joakim Noah is washed up for sure, and he's got no range on his shot. So I don't want that either. And then Dwight Howard, I wouldn't mind that. I'll get to that in a second. And then Nate Measer was just way too old. So Kenneth Faried's a guy I'm looking at. But the other thing is, Dwight Howard, I don't believe he's a bad option either. And this is all expecting the buyout happens with the Grizzlies. Dwight Howard, last time we saw him with the Washington Wizards, he was still putting up a double-double, folks. And here's the thing. If Dwight Howard is just playing about 15 to 20 minutes a game, he can still give you exactly what you need. Now, the lack of shooting hurts here, but he's quicker than Boogie. It might not be by much, but he is. But to me, the best bang for your buck might be Kenneth Faried. He's developed a little bit of an outside shot. He's a good rebounder. He can run the floor, and he's a fit in today's NBA. The rest of these guys, they're over-the-hill washed-up dudes that, you can probably play, but how much are they going to contribute? We know they don't have much left in the tank. To me, Kenneth Faried is the guy the Lakers should target. That's just what I think, folks. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation, about Boogie Cousins. Do you think his career in the NBA is done? Do you think they should sign Kenneth Faried? Do you think the Lakers should sign somebody else? Let me know down below in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.